I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. We've been highlighting the continuing trend of Republicans to speak out publicly against Donald Trump. And there were three instances very recently that were very powerful I want to highlight here. The first is former House of Representative member Will Hurd, who used to be a member of Congress from Texas from 2015 to 2021. This is his speech at the Lincoln Day dinner in Iowa that Trump attended as well. And here, former Congress member Will Hurd says that the reason Donald Trump is even running for office right now is that he's running to stay out of prison. It's actually a very powerful speech by Will Hurd, first with some claps, then the crowd boos, but you'll get a sense of it. I thought it was a very good speech, most of it. Play the clip.
And the reason Donald Trump lost the election in 2020 is he failed to grow the GOP brand in areas like women with a college degree in the suburbs, black and brown communities, and people under the age of 35. We need leaders who did like your Governor Reynolds, who went to places that people didn't expect, and that's how y'all turned red. If we one of the things we need in our elected leaders, for them to tell the truth, even if it's unpopular. Donald Trump is not running for president to make America great again. Donald Trump is not running for president to represent the people that voted for him in 2016 and 2020. Donald Trump is running to stay out of prison. And if we elect, I know, listen, I know the truth is hard. But if we elect Donald Trump, we are willingly giving Joe Biden 4 more years in the White House, and America can't handle that. God bless you, and God bless America.
Next clip I want to show you here is the governor of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu. And in this interview with This Week, he talks about how Trump doesn't have the energy anymore, and all he does is give these 90-minute boring speeches talking about his legal battles over and over again. Play the clip.
All right, so you decided not to run for president, but you are also dedicating yourself to ensuring that the Republicans nominate somebody else, somebody not named Trump. What are you hearing in Iowa? You were there at the Lincoln Day dinner with all the candidates out there. Trump seemed to get a warm reception, at least from what we saw. What were you hearing from Republicans?
Well, Trump got a warm reception, but it was without a doubt. And I think anybody in that room would tell you it was the worst speech. It was the worst 10 minutes. He came out. He read from a binder. He didn't look up. He didn't smile. It was an absolute dead speech. And this is not the Donald Trump of 2016. Don't fool yourself. And as more and more folks realize that, he doesn't have the energy. He doesn't have the fastball. He basically is droning on for 90 minutes on his long-form speeches about his legal battles as opposed to talking about the future of this country, solving the problems of this country, which is what all the other candidates are doing. So at some point, look, Ever see a soap opera? They get kind of boring. The only thing worse is the rerun of a soap opera, and that's what he's bringing, a lot of drama to the table. The other candidates are doing well. I think Vivek had a very strong speech. I think Tim Scott, Doug Burgum really connected with folks on kind of that small town feel. He's a guy that grew up in a small town on a small farm that connected with a lot of folks. So a lot of the other candidates are showing something. I get to give DeSantis a lot of credit. I think he came out early. He took his 10 minutes and didn't drone on, but really got the crowd fired up. So some of these candidates are coming with it, to be sure.
Here's another clip from that interview with Governor Sununu. Play the clip.
Joining us now from Iowa is New Hampshire's Republican Governor Chris Sununu. Governor Sununu, we see these latest charges from Jack Smith. The allegations here are pretty brazen in terms of allegedly destroying evidence. How is it that so few Republicans are expressing concerns about this?
Well, it's kind of the boy who cried wolf, right? I mean, we've seen the indictments 1, 2, 3 times. That we expect more to come. the average voter right now just considers them all to be politically driven. And whether that was the intention of the Department of Justice or not, they're allowing Donald Trump to play this victim card very, very well. But ultimately, it doesn't pan out. 6 months from now, it's going to be a very different story. I think the reality is that Donald Trump cannot actually win the votes in November of 24. He can get the nomination, but he can't actually close the deal against Biden. So if you're going to support Trump, you're going to hand it to the Biden and Kamala Harris administration. That is not a good thing. And that's why I think a lot of these other candidates are going to have an opportunity to surge. We're going to narrow that field down. It's not going to be 13 people going into Iowa and New Hampshire by any means. And then definitely by Super Tuesday, I think it's a one-on-one race, and the former president loses. I mean, that's just how the math is ultimately going to play out, because the majority of Republicans don't want Donald Trump. If you look at the polls, he's under 40% in New Hampshire. He's at about 42, 41% here in Iowa, which I'm visiting. I'm the governor of New Hampshire, not Iowa. But so when you look at that, it's not what he has, it's what he doesn't have. Right? And again, in the next 6 months, it's only going to get worse.
Here's a clip of former Republican Georgia Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan giving a interesting comparison, but making the point that Donald Trump is not a winner. Play the clip.
You think that once-in-a-generation leader is in the race yet?
I hope so. There's certainly some that have, Chris Christie's doing his part in taking it right to Donald Trump, and Hurd and others are really trying to be articulate. But we need somebody that's got the whole package, and hopefully one of those are able to step up. But look, they should all be unanimous in rebuking anything Donald Trump has to do and say. He's hijacked our Republican Party. And, this may be funny to say, but I was making this analogy last night. Nominating Donald Trump for the Republican Party is a lot like peeing in your pants, right? It's going to feel good for a couple of seconds. But then you wake up and you realize the realities of what you just did. We're going to get beat in the general because we picked the wrong candidate. We couldn't get out of our own way.
That's quite a catchy analogy, Jeff.
I want to make a point about those three videos, but let me show you. This is what Donald Trump posted about Will Hurd on his social media platform. Trump wrote, "In Iowa last night, I noticed that a little-known, failed former congressman, Will Hurd, is ridiculously running for president. He quit Congress because it would have been impossible for him to win in his district. He did a really bad job. Anyway, he got seriously booed off the stage when he said I was running to, quote, stay out of jail. Wrong. If I was running and doing badly like him and Christie with no chance to win, these prosecutions would never have been brought or happened." So Donald Trump attacking Will Hurd. Will Hurd clearly got under Donald Trump's skin there, and need more people to be speaking out against Donald Trump like those in the videos that I talked about. But notice what it is that they all mention, maybe with the exception of Will Hurd. But the reason that they're saying that they're not supportive of Donald Trump is because he's a loser and he's going to lose in 2024. True. Trump is a loser. I'm not going to be complacent. You shouldn't get complacent. Make sure you spend every day from now until the general election telling people to vote, registering voters, doing your part. Critical that you do that. Make sure the best time to start was yesterday. The better day to start is today, right now. But the other point I want to make is it's not an issue that Trump is a loser. Yes, stipulated. Trump is a loser. He's weak. He's pathetic. He's a criminal. He's a traitor. He's a disgusting human being in every aspect. Yes. But the key thing here is, what is he actually doing? What is he saying? What are the policies, if there are any? What are the things that he's threatening? What is he doing? The issue that perturbs me is I think those people in the videos that I just showed, who, by the way, I'm glad they're speaking out, if they viewed Trump as a winner, they would say, okay, see you later, democracy. We think we can win the election with the fascists, so see you later, democracy. But because he's a loser, that's why they're saying what they're saying now. Trump is a loser also because he is a fascist. And in the United States of America, we don't want fascist, incompetent idiots. We don't want malignant, narcissistic sociopaths in positions of power. That's something that I think we all in the pro-democracy community, that's the reason at the core why we dislike and say and speak out forcefully against Trump and the MAGA Republicans, is that because the movement is inherently anathema to democracy. It's trying to truly destroy our Constitution. I don't say those words in the hyperbolic way that MAGA Republicans go, oh, they're trying to destroy our democracy. No, these MAGA Republicans are really trying to destroy our democracy. They don't live in a world of evidence. They don't live in a world of law and order. They live in a world where they're promoting insurrectionists and singing songs and releasing music with insurrectionists on Apple Music. That's what Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives are doing. They're trying to stop free and fair elections. They spread lies about elections and lies about voting. That is the threat. So look, I want to keep promoting voices that are critical, and it's important that more people step forward, but it's important, though, that they say why, and that the reason is because there's no place in our government, there shouldn't be, for people like Donald Trump. And frankly, there should be no place in corporate America. There should be no place for people who are hateful and nasty and lie and cheat and do all of the things that, and engage in the crimes and do all of the things that they do, period, full stop. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast. Now hit subscribe on YouTube. It is free. Have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.